Hey sports fans, I'm Tyler Tipton.
And I'm Taylor Stewart. Welcome to the Blue Wave, your source for sports.
Well, let's get this show started off. Let's talk about FAU sports first and foremost. Okay, let me pull out my depressing diary here. The women's soccer team lost the first round to North Texas.
Well, you know, North Texas was a top seed. It was a Sun Belt Conference tournament. It's unfortunate they lost in the first round. But compared to our men's team, the girls' team is looking pretty good.
Yeah.
The
men's team lost 0-5 to FIU, which we can't lose to FIU in anything,
No.
okay? They're our rival. And to get beaten that bad, 0-5, I say 0-5 like it's a record, they lost 5-0 basically.
Yeah.
Okay. When you lose 5 to...
When do you see anyone
Yeah,
score 5
exactly.
points?
That's soccer. That's like if FAU's football team lost 63-0 to FIU when they played them November 16th. Be there. However, regardless, we're going to beat FIU in football. We're going to beat them. I'm telling you that now.
Because, you know, they're leaving the conference. So we need to send them off with a goodbye, see you later.
Yeah, not a pleasant goodbye. A real, you know, real stiff little shorter out of the door and get them out of there.
Basketball should be interesting because our FAU's very own point guard, Ray Taylor, who we should not speak of, left FAU to go play for FIU. Now, he won't be playing, but he'll be there on the bench as part of the FIU team.
We got to boo him.
So that has
gotta boo
got
him.
to be a win for FAU.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't agree more. Hey, speaking of wins, we need to get a win this weekend for the FAU football team when we play Navy. Now, we spoke on this earlier in the week. Navy is a team that anybody can beat because it's all about their strategy. It's not so much about the players they have, which, can you name one player from Navy?
They don't
Just
have
on
any-
basic knowledge?
No, they don't really
No.
have any standout players. And like you said before, they run a high school offense. So they're not impossible to beat. I think we're going to be able to put some points on the board and maybe come out with a win.
I agree. Hey, speaking of coming out with wins, though, the 2013 non-conference football schedule came out. We have Miami, Auburn, USF, and New Mexico State. Okay, first things first, Miami. The Hurricanes. The U. All right. Overrated. Overrated. What have they done this season?
They're not the team. You know, they have all those sanctions. So they're not getting the recruits like they used to. They're definitely not the team that they were in the 80s.
Definitely not.
It's definitely a disadvantage that we are not playing them at home. We're playing them on the road. So it's tough to play these better teams on the road. But I don't.
But I mean, we're not. We're on the road, but yeah, we're going to be in their home environment. It's going to be loud. But you know, that's a short little bus trip down to Miami.
Yeah.
You know, so really, there's no travel impact, no, you know, jet lag, no factor like that involved. And like we were talking about, Miami is overrated, to put it bluntly. They're just like, what is their record right now? It's not very good. I can tell you that now.
And you know they
get a lot of good recruits. They get a lot of good recruits, but you know they're not producing. And Miami's beating Miami. And speaking of Florida schools, USF.
Oh, they're always
disappointment. Always.
They are
preseason
one overrated team.
Yeah.
They're always supposed to do great things, which I want. I would love for the state of Florida to have, you know, their.
Oh yeah, I support them. I support them.
More than just two powerhouses. You know, before we had UM, FSU, and UF. Now it's really only FSU and UF that are looking like the powerhouses. So it would be great for us as a state to have better teams like USF to step up and get better, but it just doesn't look like it's happening. So that could be a great win.
Yeah, you know what? I'm kind of pumped up for that game. I'm going. Is it at USF?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, once again, it's just a little bus drive to Tampa. It's going to take about 4 hours. I'm from there. I know it's about 4 hours since they're traveling by bus. And this can easily be a win. I'm telling you. And next season, as we were talking about last week on the show, next season is our season. I'm telling you right now, this is our season. Carl Pelini's second year now.
His recruits will be here.
Mm-hmm.
The players will be used to his system.
Everything's going to be institutionalized. Everything's already set, ready to go. There's no transition, no new things.
And not to mention, it's going to be the second year for our athletic director.
There you go.
That plays a big role in it, so that takes some adjusting. So, you know, next year it's only looking better. Auburn, we didn't do too bad against Auburn.
Auburn, last year when we played them, we were tied up 10-10, just like we were tied up with Georgia earlier this season. Okay, and they slowly started to peel away, but I think we put up like over 20 points on the board. And, you know, we came out and they played a great game. They played a great game. You know, that was one game where everybody actually thought, okay, this may be an upset. Not initially. Everybody thought, okay, they're going to get blown out. But no. And you look at Auburn this year.
Auburn's nothing like how they were when we played them. And we were able to stay in it for the most part. So that is... It's not it's not like the schedule we had this year when we had to play Georgia, we had to play Alabama. I mean, those
elite.
Yeah, exactly. Those were top.
Which Auburn is usually elite. Usually, this year they have taken a dump. They've won maybe 3 games, and I'm gonna tell you right now, when we play them next year, it's gonna be under a new coach. That coach will get gone, kicked out of the War Eagle. Like, I mean, come on, you can't win the national championship. Then the next year. They did not do very good last year overall, you know, compared to their standard. For
Auburn, it's not a good team.
And then this year?
It's surprising he's still there.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
Now let's go to the NBA. Now, another team that kind of had everyone was looking forward to that kind of hasn't been really living up to their expectations, the Lakers.
Los Angeles, yep.
They're 0-2 right now. It's not looking, you know, the last time a team started 0-2 and won a championship, I believe, was the Bulls in 90, 91, 92.
A long time ago.
It's, like I said, Steve Nash is very prone to injuries, and not to mention he's older in his career, which I think I mentioned last week.
And is he injured?
And he's injured now. So he's
injured.
Already looking at an injury, which definitely isn't good for them.
Yeah, I mean, we can't really make predictions about how the Lakers season is going to go. It's a very long season of basketball, just like baseball. But so far, I mean, they got all the star power. They have Dwight Howard. Steve Nash just got injured, like you said. And, of course, Mr. Kobe Bryant. I mean, but, you know.
It's too early to count them out.
But, you know, there's a sense of panic. You know, Kobe was talking in the locker room saying, you know, I'm going to start kicking people in the butt and stuff, get a little bit more antsy. But, you know, just calm down. They'll eventually do fine, but right now, you know, Big Dwight Howard and Kobe Bryant, they're not living up to the hype as of right now.
And the same thing happened with the Heat their first year. With all these egos, all these players, high expectations. Everyone just expects them to come in and play great. Obviously, we've learned it takes some time.
It takes time.
But the Heat, they're looking great.
Yeah, you know, the Heat coming off the championship win. This, you know, I'm going to tell you now, even though I just stated that we're not going to make predictions, but I just have a feeling that they're going to get a second ring this year. Because now that LeBron has got that confidence now, because Dwayne Wade had already won a championship back with Shaq back in the day, and then he just won his second one. But now that LeBron's got that first one and the pressure's off about that, I feel like, wow, he can really just look past all the distractions of the media telling them, you know, oh, he can't do it, he's not Mr. Clutch. And I tell you, I think they're going to be unstoppable.
Yeah, they're definitely looking like a good team.
All right, well, enough talking about basketball. You know how I feel about that. Let's talk about the NFL. Okay, we got a couple key games this week, and as always, this NFL, it's crazy. Number 1, Colts versus Dolphins, battle of the rookies, Ryan Tannehill versus Andrew Luck. How do you feel about this, Taylor?
You know, I'm not a huge Andrew Luck fan.
Okay.
But I will say I think he is the better quarterback. But as a team, you know, the Dolphins just had that domination over the Jets. So I do think that confidence and streaks definitely play into wins. And I think that I'm thinking Dolphins, you know. They just had that great win. So I feel like if it's going to be – I think it's going to be Dolphins.
You know, I'm going to go ahead and agree with you, but I'll tell you right now it's going to be a very close game because the Colts are coming off a win too. And Andrew Luck's playing very well. You know, they got things finally going over there. He's definitely not in that category of first-round rookie quarterbacks, oh, upset. No, he's been making progress. They're just not that as much seen because, you know, it's a brand-new team basically. You know, all new coaches, everything, new players. And, you know, they haven't started off great, so we don't see them as much in the media as we do with Robert Griffin III and all the rest of them, Ryan Tannehill. But I'll tell you, you know, the Colts can easily win this game, but I'm picking Dolphins. All right, another game. Steelers versus Giants. This one, I put a little asterisk. This stinks right here. This is a stinky game. I'm going to tell you right now. Now, the Giants are looking like a Super Bowl team again this year, but I'll tell you, the way we were just talking about this the other day on the show, the way the Steelers beat the Redskins so convincingly, and just the defense was playing up to the standard. I don't know. I don't know. What's your opinion on this?
No, I think that the Steelers did play great last week, but I cannot bet against Eli. I'm going to have to go with the Giants. I think, everyone kind of always counts them out, and what do you know? They slip in.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bet against the Giants.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and do the opposite. I'm going to vote Steelers because you know why? Because, Eli Manning is Mr. Fourth Quarter, but I got a feeling about this game. That defense of the Steelers, we all know they're pretty nasty, and last week they showed it. Eli Manning may get knocked out of the game.
The question is, are they going to be wearing those retro jerseys?
Yeah.
You better hope so.
No, those retro jerseys didn't make them win last week. But no, I'm picking Steelers. I'm picking Steelers. All right, another game. Two contrary quarterbacks, one in his second year in a sophomore slump, one being a rookie sensation as Cam Newton is now in a sophomore slump. That's who I was referring to. He was a rookie sensation last year. How do you feel about this?
I am going to go with the Redskins.
Redskins?
They got beat last week. I'm not going to predict against Alfred Morris and RG3. I think they're a great team. I think, like you mentioned before, the Panthers' defense is just pathetic.
Yeah, just terrible.
Them against an offense like the Redskins.
Exactly. I'm picking Redskins too.
I think it's.
There was never a question about it.
I don't think Cam Newton is a bad quarterback. I think he is a good quarterback, but I don't think he has the team to back him up like RG3 does.
Yeah, I mean, Cam Newton's a good quarterback. We talked about this topic. But just overall, the Redskins team is just, they're put together. I'm not saying they're elite, but they're put together. And the Panthers are just, that coach is on the hot seat too. They're not having a very good season. The defense is just terrible. And Redskins' strength is their offense. With FAU alum running back Alfred Morris leading the way. Alfred Morris is now one of the leading rushers in the NFL. Wow.
One more game. I don't know if it's worth mentioning because I think I know who we're both going to say is going to win. But Cowboys versus Falcons.
Okay.
Now, we talked about last week how we both feel about the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and say I think we're both saying Falcons.
It's not so much how I feel about the Cowboys. I'm stating the facts. He's not Tony Romo, this ain't going to happen. Not this week. This isn't going to be the turnaround week for the Cowboys. Can they turn around? Possibly.
No.
Because they have won this season.
Falcons, maybe.
Yeah, and oh boy, the
Cowboys team against this Falcons team.
And the thing about it is, it's on Sunday night for everybody in the world to see. They are once again putting on a public display of just how overrated and Atlanta's definitely going to win. Yeah. Atlanta for, what is this, their 9th win of the season?
I believe it'll be their 8th.
8th. Yeah, they're going 8-0 this weekend.
Yeah.
Matt Ryan and that offense, let me get off Tony Romo for a second. Cowboys defense is, Rob Ryan's, he's a good coach, and they have showed sparks when they beat the Giants' first game of the year. However, recently, not so good, and facing the 8-0 undefeated Falcons isn't the week to do it. They got weapons all over the place. This just may be a pure ass kick, and I mean, I'm thinking. What do you score prediction? I'm thinking 30. Honestly, I'm going high. I'm thinking 35-10 Falcons.
I'm thinking since it is Sunday Night Football and it is the game to watch, that maybe the Cowboys will step it up, bring something.
Oh, really? So are you picking the Cowboys?
No. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I think it's going to be ugly. I'm thinking like 28-10.
28-10? Ooh, I don't know. That offense is too good. I was kind of underscoring it when I said 35. I wanted to say 38-42, but, I got to give Rob Ryan a little bit more respect than that. But anyway, thank you all for watching our sports show, The Blue Wave. We will see you next week.